All right, everyone. Hope everybody had a great Christmas, a wonderful holiday, and well, let's make it to the home stretch of 2021. New Year's Day is just a few days away. Now, this video is the first one I'm going to record today because I don't know about you, but I'm really hitting that post-Christmas, pre-New Year's Eve, New Year's Day funk where I just don't know what day it is. I don't feel like doing anything. Don't worry, I ain't got no, virus or anything that's zapping me. This happens every single year. And I do have a decent amount of videos to do, but I've just been not feeling like doing a damn thing. But I'm like, nah, let me maximize on this holiday ad revenue because this is the time of year where advertisers just go crazy on videos and I got to capitalize on it. But I feel like if nothing else, this week is a much deserved break with all the shows gone for either 1 to 2 weeks. You know, it seems that next week we're going to slowly get back into the groove of shows coming on. What's next week? Is it? I know Sistas comes back. When does House of Pain come back? That's either next week or the following week. Then The Oval comes back the next week. I ain't gonna lie, I've been slacking on the Ruthless shit. I have no excuse. I just have not felt like doing it. But I will admit, episode, what was it? Was it 15 or 16? The one that had the highest, making that one guy and that one girl have sex in front of it. That kind of did it for me. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna lie. Part of me wanted to quit, but people said, "Yo, the next episode is good," so I will watch both episodes soon. Before episode, I think, is it 16 or 17 comes out? Well, no, it was episode 14 that pissed me off. I've missed episode 15. Oh yeah, that's right. Ruthless is going to be over soon. There's only a couple more episodes left. I'll get to it. Look, it's on a streaming service. Ain't nobody else watching it or reviewing it that much anyway. I'll get to it. I did watch both episodes of the game I've missed though. Those were good. I love kind of stacking those up and watching them back to back. And this video, because I feel like it's the end of the year, I do have some like countdown videos, like how I'd rank the Tyler Perry shows this year. Since I don't believe he came out with any movies, it's pretty much me giving my own personal ranking of, when looking at 2021, which shows I felt had like the best episodes and this and that. Just to kind of give you a spoiler, the haves and the have-nots is not even in my top 3. I want to be completely honest with you. And this video is just kind of a FAQ, frequently asked questions, that I get a lot, and I feel like I've been getting a lot of them in the past couple weeks, more so than the whole year as overall. But before going forward in the video, which I do have about 5 of them written down, and this is kind of like, I'm not even going to say unscripted, since technically I wrote down the questions. And before getting into it, make sure you give a thumbs up to the video, hit the like button to show you like it. It really does help. Trust and believe, it really has been helping the videos blow up lately. Hit subscribe, because we are going to hit, hopefully, 195,000 subscribers by the end of the week / end of the year. We just hit 194,000 this morning. Hit the bell icon and select all. Sadly, we're still below like 30% subscriber watch time on the channel, which kind of sucks, but either way, I'm getting views, so I can't be too mad. But it would be nice to have more views from those who have subscribed than those who have not. But hey, if you subscribe, that's good enough for me. And follow me on social media. Links are in the description below. Now, 2 of the questions, I'm going to try to blend them together. The first question I get all the time is, Jeremy, how come my YouTube comments have been deleted? And then the second question is, in the Sistas Facebook group, Jeremy, how come my post was deleted? How come I've been blocked for like 30 days? How come, basically you've been thrown out of the group, so to speak? Now, when it comes to both YouTube and social media, like Facebook and whatnot specifically, during, basically last year, 2019 and 2020, between former President Donald Trump, the pandemic, and just kind of almost like a sensitivity / lack of freedom of speech online, there have been so many changes, guidelines, restrictions as to what you can and can't post, I'm not going to sit up here and lie to you. I cannot tell you why certain people's posts have been deleted from my YouTube comment section. Don't get me wrong. As a YouTuber, likes and comments and views, the more my video, even if it, look, there's a difference between somebody who just like disagrees with me versus somebody who says something straight up nasty. Now, I personally will delete those posts when they just say something completely out of pocket. That's when I will not just delete the comment, but I'll literally hide/block that person from my channel, where if you do comment, it won't show up, because I sometimes when I do live streams, I'll see people in the chat who I've blocked from the channel, and it will literally show me that their chat has been blocked, and I'm like, great. But then there are other people who are in the live chat, they will use profanity or some kind of words, and even though they'll type it out, I can see the comment, but it will say YouTube has hidden this comment from the rest of the chat. I can't sit up here and tell you exactly every single word that quote unquote triggers the YouTube system to block that person's comment from the live. And people who I have not blocked personally or hidden personally from the channel, they are comments that I go to the YouTube studio and I'll check on the comments of a video, and it'll say, hey, these comments are held for review. These comments have been hidden until I give the go to say so. But the thing is, there have been times where I have approved comments. I went in personally and like, hey, this person, I know this person, they always watch my stuff. I'll approve the comment, but then it gets deleted anyway because of certain words or phrasing used. So on the YouTube side, just know that probably about 85 to 90% of the time, YouTube is the one that blocks comments and gets rid of them. But in terms of people who, like, let's say I post a video about Andy, and there's somebody who's like, you talk bad about Andy, I think she's the best character on the show, I'm not going to delete that. Why would I do that? But if it's something like straight up nasty, where it's like, Andy is a slut, a hoe, and everything, blah blah blah, YouTube is probably going to delete it. Even though I'm still surprised they did not delete that video I did where it's like Andy is a hoe, and I'm like, wow, okay, I'll just run with it. Nobody blocked it. But on the Facebook side, I feel like there's far more restrictions. Thankfully, the admins in the Sistas Facebook group, because remember, I have like over half a dozen groups, but I don't really run a lot of them. Some of them I do, most of them I did solo for a long time, but out of nowhere, the Sistas Facebook group just exploded, and it got to the point where I just could not handle the amount of incoming comments on a week-to-week basis. But then it grew to a daily basis thing. And I got a group of admins where there are a few people who even know I still even run the group, because I'm not super active in it, mainly because I run my Instagram page myself, which is just starting to blow up too. We hit 30,000 followers on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve, and heck, we're almost at 30.5 thousand. So I'm like, okay, let's keep it up. Maybe I'll get that blue check mark eventually. But on the Facebook side, yeah, it's just way too many comments coming in. I remember filtering them out with rules and everything. There was a time where posts could just be posted, but then they got to the point where, nope, I got to make it so every post needs to be approved, because on Facebook, especially Facebook, there are so many scammers and con artists and innocent victims who give over personal information. And I'm like, well, that's kind of on you, but I don't know who really believes there's make hundreds of dollars at home per day. Technically, I do that myself, eBay and YouTube, but that's different. There's scammers out there. But yeah, Facebook is just crazy. Like, there are posts on my personal Facebook page from like 2011 that says, hey, this had to be removed because it's self-harm or anything. First of all, it wasn't a picture of myself. It was a meme or something with like a cartoon character that, yeah, I think it was like SpongeBob or something like that, because SpongeBob is a sponge that can regenerate. So yeah, it was something like, oh yeah, because he rips off his arms and stuff all the time because he's a sponge. And it's like, nope, we had to delete it. I'm like, wait, what? So yeah, I get that a lot. Facebook, hey Jeremy, why did I get blocked? It's just like I heard Twitter, where I know that there are some people I follow, like from the Tyler Perry acting, stage, if you will, and even friends of mine was like, what, I said something that was about Trump, and then Twitter blocked my account for like 2 weeks or something. Yeah, Facebook does that too. I can't even make a Facebook group because I want to make me a Facebook group for Zatima, but apparently I'm not able to make a group until like early January due to the fact that since I run the Sistas, since I created the Sistas Facebook group, and that group has so many guidelines, things like, there have been times where the group has been shut down, and then, you know, one of the admins or myself had to contact a Facebook person in order to unlock the account again, due to the fact that there are so many comments that get, you know, flagged and everything. It's crazy. I can't tell you exactly why. That's a Facebook thing. I know that's not the answer you want. There are people who said that they've been permanently blocked from the group. Sometimes it's not intentional. Like if there's a person who is just having a conversation, but, you know, their comments or whatever have been reported a certain number of times, or their comments have trigger words to the Facebook guideline gods, if you will, they have to be removed from the group, because if too many come in, then the group gets shut down, and the group is almost at 300,000 people, and we definitely can't deal with that. So those are the two questions I wanted to get off right off the bat. So for everybody who DMs me, either on Instagram or Facebook, then that's why. I know that's a long, drawn out answer, but that's the best way I could explain it. Now, another thing, and these are just, I'm not even going to say responding to trolls, but to the people who disagree with me on some of my videos, like for example, the Sistas after show. This is the perfect example to bring up, mainly because I have the comment section pulled up for that particular video right now. What did I say? The Tyler Perry show, Sistas after show, part 2 review. Disagree with Tyler and you will get fired. Because I mean, that's honestly like the best way to put the after show. Okay. Now, somebody actually left this comment yesterday. Russell, your criticism is decent, but besides the point. Of course, Tyler will take into account what each of these actors would like for their characters, but ultimately this is his show and his vision, and you make noise of what he should do when it's a #1 show, and there are reasons why it's #1. Take your pretentious criticism for what it is, opinions on the show. You will shut up with that simulated voice and really sturdy shit, especially if you want to try to write a TV show to say nothing of writing a #1 show. This is my natural voice, and yes, my bowel movement is quite normal, and I'm not expecting to write on a TV show at all. So thank you for your comment, Russell. And I know you're probably wondering, like, Jeremy, what are you talking like? Aren't you going to rip it apart? Everybody's entitled to their opinion, and I mean, I'm entitled to mine. So I will say this to everybody who always has something to say about me, like for example, Lamar Baker, who I believe has a Lee as their profile picture. And just for the record, I'm not calling people out, but I mean, if you're on the comments section and you're saying things, whether it be positive or negative, this is my video, just like it is Tyler's show. I'm free to give my opinions on Tyler's show, just as you are free to give your opinion on my videos. Okay. I'm so tired of hearing this broken effing record about this man's writing. If y'all don't like it, stop watching. Jeremy make these videos, and here goes the same MFers in the comments. This man has said he's going to start letting other people write. He has a writer's room for his comedies, and I'm guessing he's holding on to the dramas for a while longer. Side note, there was a TMZ article with Nancy from The Oval that goes into that. I will do that in a separate video. Until then, y'all just need to deal or go, because writers this and writers that ain't helping, and it's fueling online hate towards Tyler Perry, in my humble opinion. We already know y'all don't like his writing. Oh effing well, Kanye shrug. At least on my Twitter, because, you know, I have a trending section. That's the one everybody gets, you know, trending versus the For You. And in the everybody section, Tyler Perry has been coming up on almost a daily basis ever since, especially that Don't Look Up Netflix film has come up with. There's a difference between people like me, and I think that goes for a lot of the fans, people like us who have legitimate quote-unquote gripes or complaints, because we know Tyler's better. He's more capable than what we've been seeing in a lot of his recent work in regards to the quality of his writing. Like for his early work, that eclipses the writing of the last several seasons of The Haves. And I mean, if you just look at the first two, not even three, but like the first two seasons of the Haves and the Have-Nots alone, that's some damn quality writing compared to like The Oval or Sistas or basically a majority of his Viacom projects. And when I say, you know, he should either have writers or consultants, that's not coming from a place of hate. I watch the show because do I rant and complain? In a way, but I have reasons why. There's a difference between I hate this, but I'm not giving ways to potentially improve it, because there's a difference between what was that show, Love Is? I think that came on OWN, and I only reviewed 2 episodes because every time I did a video on that show, they would give me a copyright claim. So I'm like, you know what, F this, which it doesn't really matter because they got, you know, canceled after that first season anyway. So I'm like, and I remember Dwayne from A Different World. He was on there as like a director or something. He played a director in the series. And I remember the female lead, she was at like this writer's room meeting or whatever, and she said something, and Dwayne, that isn't his name, but I forgot what his name was on the show. And he's like, hey, just want to let you know, if you ever speak up in a meeting like that saying that something's a bad idea, you better have another idea in order to say, okay, this is a bad idea, but here's how I think it should be made better. And that's what I do on the channel. I mean, if there's anything I learned from that show, I'm like, I've never been up here to just straight up rant. True, there have been times where I've flown off the handle, but I will tell you why. So there's a difference between being a Tyler Perry hater versus a person who is a Tyler Perry fan and wants better from Tyler Perry because we know he can do better, as well as wanting better for the actors. Let's see, Lou Daisy, I disagree with you when it comes to Karen's character being assassinated to bring up Satima. That's a fair opinion. I do feel like Karen has been assassinated, and I've said multiple reasons why in multiple videos, so I don't really feel like there's a need to get into it here. But there was this one comment I really want to get to, due to the fact that it was kind of lengthy, and that comment was the main reason I'm doing this particular portion of the video, so just bear with me here. And okay, this is actually a positive one. Meme loves peace. I enjoyed the women advocating for their characters because they do deserve better material. I was like, dang, Tyler, when Aaron said his character needed some backstory. Yep, I agree. Let's see, Chi-Town Girl 33. This isn't the comment I'm looking for, but I agree wholeheartedly that Tyler has assassinated Karen's character for the sole purpose of building up Satima. I disagree with the Danny situation. Mignon was absolutely correct in her statement. Tyler asking, are we watching the same show, is nothing more than proof that he doesn't remember his own script. Yes, Preston repeatedly showed up to Danny's house without calling ahead. His behavior is without a doubt problematic. Now, none of that is excusing Danny's behavior, but what we're not about to do is dismiss Mignon's comments as if they aren't fact. I will say as a fellow reviewer that this was a very good review. I agree that he does need to do better with the rest of the characters. The way he writes these women is the reason I refused to watch this show when it first aired. I watched the first episode and didn't watch again until the end of season 2, and I had to go back and binge. I agree with everything you stated about Tyler Perry in this after show. He did the same thing last season. And I love the ladies defended Karen last season and continue. Oh yeah, she must be in the mid-season finale first episode of the Tyler Perry show. Well, thanks for the comment there. And I felt like I agreed more with Tyler on that particular notion of are we watching the same show. But I will admit, Mignon, if we did see more of her side, but it's just one of those things where I feel like Danny has this cycle of not really saying how she feels, and then she tells Preston one thing without being clear about it. So, I'm going to find this damn comment if it's the end of me, because it was just so like, okay, this isn't the exact comment, but this is the next to the last comment I need to pull up, because the last one is actually going to lead into the next question here. Trey Burrell says, all right, Jeremy, LOL. I disagree with you on some points you made. First, thank you for the content you give, the hard work that goes into making this so we can have healthy discussions. And let me just say off the rip, yes. Actually, no, he continues on. He or she continues on, Trey Burrell. There is no profile picture, so I can't, sorry if I don't know. Okay. And I do agree with you from the standpoint of some of the characters on the show are getting or have already gotten stale and repetitive. And I agree that Tyler could come up with better storylines that actually move the story. That's the first paragraph. Trust and believe, there's a lot more to read here. But let me just say thank you. I do appreciate that. And that's the main point of this channel. It's not for me being right and you being wrong. It's the fact of creating this community so we can have these discussions, agree to disagree. But there's a difference between being rude versus those who give well thought out answers. Now, continuing, but when it comes to the characters, specifically Danny and Karen, you're off and you're missing the deeper meaning behind these characters. This is a super reality-based show. This ain't a show like The Oval where it's completely 1000% made up. So you can take the story and characters any way you want them and it'll be fine. With Sistas, these are real characters. We all know a woman who questions a man that she's seeing sexually when that man's lifestyle is not of the normal masculine style, in reference to Sabrina. We all know a woman who is in a toxic, slightly abusive relationship with a man that she won't get out of because she loves him, Andy. We all know a woman who is a bitter ex, Karen, and we all know a woman who self-sabotages a good N-word simply because she's been hurt so many times, Danny. So Tyler is trying to write these characters based on the type of relationships that they're all in, and yeah, it might be repetitive, but that's life. This ain't a fairy tale show. Also, keep in mind, this is supposed to be a drama, so if everything was pitch perfect, it wouldn't be a show. Let me stop right there. I understand the breakdown completely. I agree with those analysis of the characters, but the thing is, Tyler makes it so damn repetitive and unbelievable. And I'll do a separate video based off a post I made yesterday about what season out of the 3 had the best season finale. I think season 1 was just way too over the top. It had that Tyler Perry movie level ending of the feds and all the police storming the damn country house that Gary took Andy to. Like, what woman would stay with a man after that? You know, the feds took everything from her. Sure, Gary was proven innocent, but I mean, Andy has just been an awful character ever since that long walk home, if you will. So there's a difference. And then when you look at Sabrina, I mean, over 70% of the viewers on this channel / subscribers are women. And I have seen little to no support for Sabrina at all in the Calvin relationship. Like, I remember, what was it, in the mid-season finale, right? You know, Unlock It, where out of the blue, Maurice called Sabrina on his phone and then gave it to Calvin to go back to her apartment, and then they made up, and then, no, like, as soon as that happened, I'm like, there's a difference between characters inevitably ending up together versus, okay, this is just forced in order to keep the story going, and the story was over like 2 seasons ago. So, okay. Now, with Karen, I most certainly can understand how she may come across as an annoying gold digger and bitter. Sorry. However, she's a real-life character. There's a woman out there just like her. Karen did so many things for Zach, all while Zach was cheating on her and being a trash boyfriend. So she was done with him and left hoping that it would make him a better man. The problem is he became a better man, but he's with another woman. So I get why Karen is bitter, because she feels she deserves this new man, as Zach is because she put up with all the BS. So she feels somebody else is reaping the benefits of her work. We all know a woman like Karen. I would not be opposed to disagreeing or agreeing with this statement. My issue is Tyler Perry had that great moment between her and Zach in the salon in the mid-season finale where they had a clean split. But then out of the blue, she decided, I need closure. He needs to tell me this and that. And mind you, people keep saying she was pregnant. That's not a good defense, because at that point in time, she didn't even know she was pregnant. So I don't like to say she's a gold digger, she's bitter and annoying. I feel like Tyler just threw her character under the bus after that great mid-season finale, because why even have that scene where he gave her the $72,000 check in conjunction with the $5,000 in cash he gave her a couple days before? Nobody brings that up. Nobody brings up the salon. I mean, Zach did say, I did tell you, but why doesn't he say, well, Karen, you said the same. You're the one who said, yeah, I want to say we should go back to my place and work it out, but we've done that too many times and it's not going to work out. So if you look at the Karen in episode, I think it was 11, Unlock It, and then you watch the Karen from episode 12 to episode 22, that's not the same character. I know there are people like, well, Jeremy, she could change your mind. Again, it would be different if she referenced the salon scene, but nobody did. So I had to disagree there. But that's not a bad analysis, though. It's just that I think Tyler just fumbled bad with the consistency in the writing there. And then the final paragraph. With Danny, yeah, it's easy to say she's self-sabotaging the relationship. I cannot talk. The self-sabotaging the relationship, but we all know a woman who has been done wrong by so many N-words that when she meets a good one, she doesn't all the way believe it. So avoid disappointment that she feels it's inevitable. She wants to be in control, and now that Preston has taken the control back, she doesn't know what to do with herself. She needs to learn to let the control go and just be in a relationship. Yes, it can be annoying at times, but to say that Tyler is trying to purposely make their characters and therefore the actress hated is not fair. I have never said that. There are many people who understand Karen and Danny, by the way. Tyler is just trying to write a story in reality. That's just my thoughts. Again, thank you for your thoughts, Trey, but some of the things you said I feel are a misrepresentation of what I've been saying about the show. Meme Loves Peace goes on to say, I agree with what you said, Trey, but I think what Jeremy's trying to say is the issue is not the characters and the type of women they represent. It's the actual writing, the words and direction. They don't have the material to provide nuance and backstory. Tyler is great at story arcs, but not so good with the depth and nuance of the details. That is true. This is most of the fans' issues with the writing. 22 episodes with 70% filler can easily be taken down to 10 to 13 episodes of strong-paced writing. Amen to that. We lose a lot of continuity and potential great storylines because quantity is valued over quality. That is a perfect response. Then the last thing I want to address before moving to the next question. Also, if you made it this far in the video, you're a champ. Cookie Blunt. This is the real comment here that really sparked the video. Cookie Blunt. I've never seen black people question white writers. They just do their job and get paid. This is a Tyler Perry show. They just need to let him do him and just do their job. There are so many women that act like each and every woman on that show. Everyone don't have that happy ending. It's life. He can easily write them off and add others. I don't think Karen's character is being assassinated. She's real in real life. My ex-boyfriend was just like Karen, bitter. Again, everybody's entitled to their own thought, but I mean, I don't know if this should be a color thing. I've never seen black people question white writers. It depends on the context of that question. Do you mean black actors questioning the white people who write for them? That's false, because if you look at Good Times and Sanford and Son, there are so many examples from back in the day. Like, I learned this watching like the E! Hollywood or Unsung. Hell, James Amos, I believe, I hope that's his name, the guy who played the father on Good Times. He left the show and was killed off because he didn't like how, the show was being written more buffoonish, propping up JJ's character while not really giving, solid storylines for the other kids. And both James on Good Times, he fought back trying to make a more structured black family look good on TV, and he got killed off for it. And then on Sanford and Son, Red Fox wanted to make sure, black people had, comedy on the show, but also good writing, because more often than not, white writers can't write good stories for black people. It's like, how are you going to tell a black person what's going to relate to black people when you're not black? So, on the flip side, if your statement is referring to, I've never seen black people question white writers as in black viewers. No, there are several shows that I don't watch anymore, or at least on the regular, not simply because of what the color of the person writing the show is. For The Flash, The Flash has a black showrunner for like the past 2 or 3 seasons, and the show has never been worse, and I don't watch it anymore. There are a number of other shows, well, mainly CW in general just sucks now. I can go on and on, but we're almost at the 30-minute mark. So no, just because there's a difference between feeling entitled to better material versus deserving better material as a consumer of the work. So yeah, that's pretty much leading into the next question of, Jeremy, if you don't like the show, why do you watch it? Number one, I've never said I hated the show. I just hated how some of the material is being presented. Number two, question. If you have time to come to my content and write down comments about why don't you watch something else, or I'm tired of hearing people complain, why do you watch my videos? I mean, I appreciate the views and everything. Trust, you're just helping the channel by coming here to do that stuff. But hey, do what you got to do. Let's see. That was what? 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow, that was 4 questions already. The 5th question is, and this has been one I've been getting recently. Trustingly, there are other questions like, what's your favorite show to review? Who is your crush on this show or that show? What show would you want to be on? And that kind of stuff. That's its own separate video because that's more of a positive one. And the other question, well, actually, there's 2. Would you ever want to write on these shows? I'll probably get fired. Because I think too much, and I don't think I'd be rude, but I guess on the other shows that have been allowing other writers and producers, then I think I might actually have a chance to shine. But I think if nothing else, I wouldn't mind being like a consultant, because there have been cast of not just Sistas but other shows who actually DM me and we talk. I'm not saying who, and they just want like, hey, there was this scene in this episode and I want to get your thoughts on it, and I'll tell them what my thoughts are, or hey, I think the story is going here, and they'll just be blown away. Now the argument could be made with Jeremy, they probably getting those ideas from you and telling Tyler, and then he's putting it in the show, and then it's like you don't get credit for it. Meh, I don't care. But I don't think that's happened. But then again, that's probably happened before in the past during my blogging and early YouTube days. What can you do? But no, it's just one of those things where to actually get positive feedback from cast who say they love what I have to say, I don't know, maybe if the opportunity presented itself, I would not be against it. I'll just say that. But it is what it is. But then the final question is, and this is a big one, and I'm not doing a separate video because I feel like the more I talk about it, the more people say you might as well do it because you keep making videos about it. Bruh, it's crazy. There have been people who say they miss my assisted living videos, and trust and believe, if those videos were doing better in regards to the views and ad revenue, I would probably drop House of Pain instead of assisted living, because I feel like, and I've said this a few times, if Calvin and Miranda get back together, which I do feel they're truly building towards on House of Pain, I'm probably just going to stop watching the show because it is so awful right now in regards to how painfully obvious, no pun intended, they're trying to push these two back together, and there's literally nothing there in regards to solid foundation. But here's an example for you with bruh. I posted my season 2 overview video. What was that, on Christmas Day? I spent most of Christmas Eve night editing this thing. It's been like 3 weeks late, and it's not even at 1,000 hits. And in terms of the ad revenue that it's earned, and I'm going to put it on screen, it's only about $6 and some change. So that's one of the most successful bruh videos I've done for season 2. Yes, an hour-long video has garnered $6. Now you're probably wondering, wow, that's great, right? Because the other videos you said only got like $2 or $3, if that. Well, think of it this way. It took hours to edit that video, and let's compare that to a video that did not take anywhere near that same amount of time to get that much money. The Sistas video I did for the trailer breakdown, that took a little bit of work, but nowhere near the amount of time it took for the bruh video. Well, no, that's not fair. That video has 31,000 hits. Let me look at the K Singleton video, the video that's not even 2 minutes long. It's just a video doing a, hey, K Singleton portrays a role on both The Oval as second lady and as a realtor on Sistas. That's just a less than 2 minute video. That video itself has a little less views than the bruh video, but it's gotten $5.28 so far in ad revenue. Now, and keep in mind, whenever I say these numbers, that's before YouTube takes a cut of that money, so I'm not even making that much. And you're probably, and now you can see why I'm not doing bruh season 3, because a lot of time and effort. I'm not getting a lot of ad revenue, and I got bills. I mean, I got to save up for this house because I'm not getting a house from nobody, so I got to do it my damn self. So yeah, that's why bruh isn't going to happen. Sorry. I'm going to watch the show, but I'm not going to review the show. So there you go. Now that pretty much is the FAQs. Yeah, this was lengthier than I thought, but I felt like I needed to get that out in the air about like the comments about people like, why don't you write the show then? Or could you do better? And, blah, 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 blah. Hey, speak your piece, but don't be an ass about it. All right. So thanks so much for tuning in. Like and subscribe. If you want to donate to the channel, feel free to do so on PayPal or Cash App. And with that being said, folks, I'll catch you in the next one.